WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
Yes, indeed, it is time for the First Federal program on this, warm, damp, beautiful Friday morning. We are joined by our host this week, Tanner Lee. Good morning.
Morning, Paul. You described that perfectly, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice and warm out there. I actually turned the air down in here a little bit so it wouldn't get so hot during the program. It's going to be damp today.
Yeah, a little bit, but hopefully everybody's had a chance to catch up on the mowing a little bit. I know I had to run mine a couple times this week to get the grass caught up a little bit.
My wife was nice and did mine yesterday because she saw that it was going to rain all weekend, and she goes, he's not going to get to it, so she just did it for me.
That's very nice of her.
Yes.
Very nice of her. But it's hard to believe we're in May.
I know.
It's May 3rd. It's a special month around the state of Indiana.
Yes, it is.
For one reason or another, but it's particularly the Indy 500 coming up at the end of the month, which I know you guys will have all the coverage for that.
Yes, we will. We'll have all the qualifications and then the race.
Yeah.
And we'll even have tickets to give away later on, too.
Fantastic. So it's an exciting time. Summer's right around the corner.
Yes.
Just hard to believe that 2024 is already a third over, but hey, time flies when we're having fun, right?
Exactly.
We always have fun here on the First Federal Radio Show.
Yes,
Friday morning. We're going to have some fun this morning. We've got two great guests. Barbara Cowles, who is a mortgage originator for us at our Elkhart branch, and Aaron Charles, who's the director of marketing for the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana. So we're going to be talking with them in a little bit. So looking forward to it.
We're glad to be here.
Got some trivia for you this morning.
All right, let's do it.
And it's got to do with the Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Okay.
Well, in what year did the Ronald McDonald House Charities form or begin, or however you word it? I'll give you a choice of 4 different years, and then you can answer at the end of the show.
Okay.
And make sure that Aaron doesn't give you any hints here.
Yeah, that was probably going to be one of the first things he said. Started in.
Yeah. But did it start in 1964, 1974, 1984, or 1994?
Okay.
So I'll give you the whole show to think about. You got to wait. But some sports this morning, Paul. It's still a lot going on nationally. I know locally there's tons going on. I know Johnny's been doing a great job recapping everybody on what's going on locally. Nationally, the NBA playoffs, the Pacers defeated the Milwaukee Bucks last night, so they won the first round series 4-2. So they advanced to the second round for the first time in a decade, since 2014. So
Pacers.
They've had 4 coaches in that time span. They've been swept multiple times in the first round, 2 resets. So good for them. And they already know who they're going to be playing. The New York Knicks, who beat the Philadelphia 76ers last night to win that series 4-2. So these two franchises were quite the rivals in the 1990s.
Yeah, they were.
It's changed a little bit, but it'll be fun. It's going to be a fun series to watch.
Yeah, I always remember growing up, you could tell who were friends with who because you had your Pacers fans and your Knicks fans, and
of course the Bulls fans.
Oh yeah. Those seem to be the 3 factions.
Yep.
In the NBA
Eastern Conference, big time, and unfortunately, it was whoever won between the Pacers and Knicks would lose to the Bulls. In that time period, with the Bulls winning 6 of the 10 championships in the 90s. But that'll be a fun series. 2 basketball-crazed markets in Indiana and in New York City itself. So.
Yeah.
The Celtics are the other team in the East. They've already moved on. They're waiting to see who they're going to play between the Magic and the Cavaliers. If the Cavaliers win tonight, they win that series.
Okay.
Then in the West, you have the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, the defending NBA champion, the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're ready to start their series tomorrow. Then the Oklahoma City Thunder have advanced. They're waiting to play the winner of the Clippers Mavericks, which Mavericks are up 3-2 if they win tonight.
Right.
So getting close to knowing all the matchups for round 2, and it won't end until June. The NBA playoffs last
I know.
all the time.
It is so crazy. It feels like we've been in the playoffs for months already, and it's just round 1.
Just because of the best of 7. It used to be best of 5 in round 1. That would speed things up, but hockey's the same way. Hockey playoffs are going on. Those will be through June 2.
Yep.
lots going on. And MLB, of course, we're now a month in the season. Your Cleveland Guardians, 20-11.
Yeah.
Still staying hot. So
yeah.
maybe I know it's early, but maybe it's time you can start believing a little bit, Paul.
I want to. And then I got a notification last night that the Astros were leading 8-2, and I went, "Yep, not looking anymore."
Yeah, well, the Astros are struggling so far to start the year, but they're talented enough. They're gonna probably turn it around. My Yankees are 20-13, but second place in their division now. The Orioles have caught up to them. Also, other local teams got the Tigers with an 18-13 record. White Sox. They won a couple in a row, but they're still 6-25.
Yeah.
A long season there for the Southsiders. The National League Cubs playing good baseball. I know Aaron over here to my right is a big Cub fan. I found out before we got on the air, and they're 19-13.
Yeah.
So just behind the Brewers for the NL Central lead. Then you got the Reds 16-15, and the Cardinals 14-17. So
All right.
pretty interesting so far for the local baseball team, but a lot of season left.
When we get to maybe August, I'll start believing in Cleveland if they're still doing this well.
Fair enough.
Are you going to play Journey's Don't Stop Believing today?
I could.
Yeah.
I could.
It's always a good one to play, right?
Yeah. We got our vinyl segment coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, so maybe that's what I'll play.
Hey.
Sounds like you should to me. So
Yeah.
we got some tidbits here this morning, Paul. On this day in 1910, the Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States got renamed to what we know as today the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA,
Okay.
who seems to always be in the news for
One thing or another.
or kind of be powerless anymore. It seems like with the name, image, and likeness going on and the transfer portal and everything. On this day in 1948, the first broadcast of the CBS Evening News aired.
Oh, okay.
It's the longest running network news show in the United States. On this day in 1991, the 356th and final episode of CBS's second longest running series TV show Dallas premiered.
Who shot JR?
Can you tell me which was number one for the longest running series TV show in CBS history? Any guesses?
MASH.
Good guess. No.
I want to say Stargate.
Good guess.
Star Trek?
Gunsmoke.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
And on this day in 1999, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 11,000 for the first time in the history at 11,014.70. Compare that to today, it closed yesterday at 38,225.66.
Yeah, I think if the
Just
Dow
a little
Jones,
difference.
Yeah, I think if the Dow Jones
25
closed
years.
at that today, people would probably be panicky.
Yeah, well, yeah. 25 years, there's been a little difference. So that's where we stand today. And on this day in 2002, Spider-Man premiered. One with Tobey Maguire in it. It kind of relaunched the franchise after it was just a cartoon and comic for a long time. So now there's been many different versions and universes of Spider-Man, and it continues making a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
Well, we got a lot of days going on today. Today is Sunday, not the day of the week.
Right. The thing that's in the sky that we probably won't see?
Yes. But if we do, get out and enjoy it. It's World Press Freedom Day, Wordsmith Day, School Lunch Hero Day, National Textiles Day, Writer Review Day. Always good to write a review. And when I'm talking about write a review, go support a local business and write a review, whether it's on their Facebook page, or their Google, give them a Google review, wherever, maybe even their website if they have their review section on their website. Write a nice review for a local business today, because it is Small Business Week.
Yes, it is.
So take advantage of that. Plenty of great small businesses out there. It's National Two Different Colored Shoes Day. I can't say I followed that trend today.
I did not, but I picked the kids up from school yesterday, and there was a girl there wearing Crocs. One was white and one was black.
At least it's the same brand.
Yes. I get
It's
that.
acceptable, right? Because
No!
why?
I can't do the two different colored socks, shoes, that
Yeah,
stuff.
what is up with the socks? Nobody seems to be able to tell me that.
I think somebody was just didn't match their socks long enough that apparently other people were like, you know what, I want to do what they're doing, and then it just
New trend just
took off.
Okay. All right.
That's how it starts. Young kids these days, right?
And fashion people.
Yeah. All right. Good way to put it. It's also National Chocolate Custard Day. I can get on board with that one. National Paranormal Day. For all you
Big fan of
ghost
that.
people out there. National Space Day. I know
Hey.
you and Todd
Yeah.
big fans of that. And International Tuba Day.
Oh, okay.
So, quite the list of days.
Yes.
But I know you have one event upcoming around the community you wanted to feature this morning.
Yeah, it is the Fulton County Community Health Fair. It's happening Wednesday, May 8th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Fulton County Fairgrounds in the community building. Health screenings, community resources, vaccines, giveaways, and more. They will be giving away $10 gas cards, hygiene kits, pack of diapers if you have a young child. And all services are absolutely free, so you don't have to worry about getting there and paying for that health screening or those vaccines or anything like that.
Very nice event.
Yes, it is.
It's very
Yes, it
needed,
is.
and you can go out there. And what's the date and time again?
Wednesday, May 8th from 4 to 7 p.m.
There you go. So next Wednesday. 4 to
Yes.
7. I want to give flowers to everybody involved with the Chamber Gala that took place over the weekend.
Yes.
And all the winners. I don't have the list in front of me, but congratulations to everybody that won awards this year, and for all the nominees too that were up for awards, both as individuals and businesses. So I know the Chamber works really hard putting on that event every year, and it's always a great event. So did you guys have a table there?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yes, I did not make it due to being under the weather,
Yep.
but Randy and Johnny were there.
Perfect. So, congratulations again to all the winners out there. And at First Federal today, we're open from 8:30 until 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. We'd love to see you. If you can't make it into the bank during our open business hours, that's all right. You can always bank with us online with our mobile app, which is free to download, no matter if you have an iPhone or Android device. Just go to your app store, type in First Federal Savings Bank, look for the white star with the green background, and you're halfway there.
Yes.
If you're out and about this weekend, our ATM's open 24/7 if you need some cash. And if you're in one of our locations that we don't have a branch in, don't worry. We're part of the MoneyPass network. So go to moneypass.com, type in the zip code you're in. You can find the other ATMs around that area that are on the MoneyPass network. You can use one of those ATMs and you won't get charged a surcharge. So no need to fret that. And we got some great specials going on right now. We got a few CD specials going on. We have an 8-month CD special at 4.99% annual percentage yield, APY. And we got an 18-month CD at 4.06% APY. And we also got multiple loan specials going on right now. And I know Barbara can speak on that a little bit. But we got a second mortgage special going on. We got a
Purchase
special, yeah, for a closing cost special, either
Yep.
one.
Yep.
And we also have I have another little special going on that I don't have down in my notes right now. So plenty of specials going on. Contact your local First Federal Mortgage Loan Originator, Barbara Cowles right here to my right, and help you get it going.
Mm-hmm.
We also offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you get a free gift, which you got a choice right now during this gift cycle. You have a headphone and speaker combination, or a First Federal logoed umbrella.
Okay.
which we needed today.
Yes, very
Yes.
fitting today.
Yeah.
So come in, open up a new Simply Free checking account, get a free gift, or if you're like, I really want that gift, but I already have an account or multiple accounts, don't want to open up another one, got good news for you. You can still get that gift by referring a friend.
So if you go in and open an account, John Paul Sargent's name.
You can do that, and you'll get a gift for opening an account, and Paul will get a gift for referring you.
Yeah.
And you can do that online also. You don't have to
Yes.
do it in person. You can refer a friend online as well. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And if you think about planning for retirement, want to check on your 401k, or maybe you don't have one, you want to get that going, IRA, those type of things, contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell from the Financial Services Department for more information. Their direct line is 574-223-1705. And you can follow us on all social media platforms. Give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on X and Instagram. Our handle on those is @FFBanking. Give us a like on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can see an archive of all the First Federal Radio shows from the past 4 to 5 years. We are the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. And our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
That makes us legal and ready for the fun part of the program, the meat of the program.
Oh yeah,
like
we
to
bring
call
the
it.
fun.
We got special guests joining us this morning, Barbara Cowles, who is a mortgage loan originator for us at our Elkhart branch, and Director of Marketing for the Ronald McDonald House of Charities of Michiana, Aaron Charles. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks
Good
for having us.
morning.
Hey,
Yeah, this is great.
thanks for joining me this morning. Appreciate it. So why don't we take a minute real quick and have you both introduce yourself a little bit. I know I just kind of gave you an introduction of what your title is, your names, but give a little more background on yourselves.
Sure, yeah. Well, like I said, my name's Aaron Charles. Been Director of Marketing at Charities Michiana for about 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in July. So we are connected to Beacon Children's Hospital in South Bend, Indiana. And we serve families from here in Fulton County, from Marshall County, really all of the counties here in the Michiana area, really. So a lot of people probably would know, either a family or friend, someone that has used our services or knows someone who's used our services. So a little bit more about us is that we provide a home away from home for families with sick and injured children, ages 21 and younger. So a lot of people associate us with like young kids. We definitely serve, like moms with babies in the NICU, premature babies, that kind of thing. But we serve families with children all the way up to 21. Unfortunately, in the summer, like a lot of times we'll see teenage car accidents, that kind of thing. So, any family who has a child in the hospital, they're welcome to stay at Ronald McDonald House. They're welcome to, get a meal at our facility. We have a second and third floor there where on the second floor we've got 20 overnight rooms. On the third floor we've got the huge kitchen. It's my wife would love if our kitchen looked like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Ditto on that.
Yeah. 2 islands, a bunch of ovens. It's pretty
4
impressive.
dishwashers.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's nice. So families can come in from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and get a meal there. And so we have families can come take a shower, do laundry, really whatever they need while their child is in the hospital. They can come and use at our facility, and the biggest thing is that all of our services are free of charge.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
And actually, you're one of just a small number of
Right.
Ronald McDonald House charities locations that is 100% free.
Right. So, yeah, that's one of the things that makes us unique. There are really 2 things that make us unique among Ronald McDonald houses, which I will say I won't give you a tip on the trivia question today because, I guess the only minor tip I'll give you is that trivia question is for RMHC Global. So we are a part of a global network of chapters, but we are a local chapter of that. So our local chapter started in 2002, but that does not give you the answer to your question. Yeah, there you go. So you're still on the hook for that one. But yes, we are a local chapter, so all of the funds that go to us stay here locally. Even though we're part of that global network, we really all of our services are provided here locally. Really, the benefit of being part of that global network is that awareness. People know our name, right?
Sure.
It's again, I won't say how long that Global's been around, but it's been around for a while. So people know who we are, and that kind of helps bring in donations. And then having people like Bart who are out in the community talking about us. And I'm going to let her share a little bit more about what she's been doing to get the word out. And we're so thankful for what you've been doing. But yeah, we are just so grateful to be here in the community. This community has supported us for over 20 years, and we just can't say thank you enough. And then the final thing I'll say, just for my introduction, is now that I know that you're a Cleveland Guardians fan, thank you for the World Series championship that you gave to us Cubs fans. I know it's been a little while.
That's great.
And Paul steps away from the microphone.
I am a big Cubs fan, so thank you for giving that shout out earlier. Yeah.
Not only is he Guardians fan, he's a Browns fan.
Oh boy, well I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Hey, things are looking up for the Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one more question I had for you, Aaron,
Yeah.
before we switch over to Barbara, is I know your title is Director of Marketing. I know that can be a very broad, wearing a lot of hats sort of title, but what are some of the things you do as the Director of Marketing?
Absolutely. So a big thing that I do is exactly what we're doing right here, is getting out in the community, talking about what we do, sharing our story. What I love about my job is I get to share the stories of our families, you know, and these are incredibly courageous people who are going through the most difficult moment of their lives, right? I mean, there are so many stories from, again, earlier I mentioned we do serve a lot of parents who have premature babies that are in the NICU, and so then those stories are stories of long continual stays, right? Actually, the first family that stayed in our current house, so like I said, we started in 2002. We were a 3-bedroom family room inside the hospital for the first 15 years of our existence, and then in 2017 we moved into our current facility, which we went from a 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot family room to now a 20-bedroom, 15,000 square foot house. But the first family that stayed in our house was with us for 11 months, and that was a NICU story. But we serve, you know, other families that have children getting treated in the hematology oncology unit at Beacon Children's Hospital. So children with cancer, blood disorders, and those families, while they may stay for smaller individual chunks of time, unfortunately with those stories, they're coming back for repeat treatments, right? So over time, I've got one family right now who's unfortunately back with us. They've stayed with us across the last couple of years, 18 different times, and it's now over 50 nights that they've stayed with us. So there's a lot of different stories, but what I love is that I get to connect with these families, hear their stories, and then I get to share them with the community and show how Ronald McDonald House is really meeting them where they're at and helping them think about all the details of life that we take for granted. When your child is in the hospital, all you want to do is focus on your child, right? So you don't want to have to be worrying about where am I going to get a meal today, how am I going to figure out, travel, like let's say someone lives here in Fulton County, right? Commuting up to South Bend to go to Memorial Hospital for treatments, that's a lot to figure out when you're dealing with healthcare costs and everything that goes around a child's hospitalization. So when we can take away all those details, tell families that it's completely free of charge, that is just such a load off of their minds, and it is so rewarding to be able to walk into work every day and know that we're helping these families through the toughest moment of their lives. And like Barb mentioned, we are unique among Ronald McDonald House chapters. Not every chapter is able to give all services free of charge to families. I think every chapter would love to do that. Sure. That's the goal for everyone. Right. But the reason we're able to is because this community is so giving, and we have the financial position to be able to say to families, you don't have to pay for any of our services. The other thing that makes us unique among Ronald McDonald Houses is that we're physically connected to our hospital. A lot of Ronald McDonald Houses are freestanding buildings that are separate from the hospital, and so that means we can serve both day guests and overnight guests. So like I mentioned before, we've got our second floor, we have overnight guests there in our 20 bedrooms. That space is open 24/7 for families. We always have a staff member there at any time of day. And then our third floor facility is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Whether families staying overnight with us or not, they can come over, use our third floor facility, get a meal, take a shower, use any of those services that I mentioned before, and again, for them, it's all free of charge as well. So so my job is getting out, telling those stories, managing our social media account, connecting with media, really just telling our story to the community and making sure that people know who we are, so that when our fundraising team is out in the community, trying to raise those funds so that we can tell families they don't have to pay for our services. People know who we are and know about what our mission is, and they're ready to give or volunteer or do whatever they would like to do.
Fantastic.
And I have to follow that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, again, we couldn't do it without community partners, and Barb is such a perfect example of really, what we love about, being and living and working in this community is that we've got great people like Barb who want to share our story and get involved, and you've just been incredible. So we can't say thank you enough.
Well, I'm kind of fun, and
You
you guys
are
are
very
fun
fun.
people,
You are very
so
fun.
we gravitate to
Yeah.
what we are. So I'm Barbara Cowles. I actually have family down here, so there is a big family debate on how we pronounce our last name. So
I said Cowles.
yes,
in your
that's
introduction.
technically the term. So I do have family here in Rochester, so when you said, can you come down to Rochester, I'm like, of course I can. So my Uncle Donnie and Mackie live here in town. My cousin Troy and his wife Cassie and their son Gabe live in town as well. So it's really nice to be in their hometown, and did talk to my cousin Troy on the way down here. He's like, you need to give me a shout out. So hi, Troy. So I am a mortgage loan originator up in our Elkhart branch. I came to First Fed in January after a 9-year financial literacy personal banking career. So I can honestly say that the first time home buyers are actually my favorite group of people to work with, because I get to actually teach them and just watch them achieve the American dream. So here's a quick trivia question for you.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2 today. My
What's
goodness.
the percentage of people in the United States that associate the American dream with buying their first home?
50%.
Aaron should know this because he took a
I did go
mortgage
through your class.
home buying class with Mike. Do you remember?
Yeah, no, it's been a little while since that class. I've
Okay.
slept a couple times since then.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm gonna say 70%.
That's I'll bump it up a little higher to 80.
78%.
Okay, all right.
So,
Okay.
So he went over, so I went.
Yeah. Jeopardy's jumping right
Yeah.
there.
So whether it's your first home or your third home or you need an equity line, give me a call. So
There you go.
Well, and I see you're wearing a kilt this
I
morning,
am wearing a
so,
kilt. So I obviously there's always a why,
Mhm.
right? So I was brought up in a manner of we are to give our time, talent, and treasures for our passions in our communities. So I had met Aaron and the staff up at Ronald McDonald House in South Bend in the summer of 22.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, really got to know everyone. Just amazing, incredible people. So hats off to you guys because you serve 365, 24/7. So then in the fall, in October, they have their McDazzle Kilts for Kids Gala, which is their largest fundraiser, and I was invited to go. I had sat in the nonprofit world raising money for years, and I'm like, how do they do this? These people run around in these kilts and they raise all this money. Well, I got to see what was going on. And I was sitting there that night with some friends, and I'm like, you guys, we need to do this. And my why was that a friend of mine that week had told us that her almost 9-year-old son was diagnosed with leukemia. And I just saw the worry and the stress that she was going through, and she did receive some services at Ronald McDonald House. So last year I was on a kilt team. It was a great experience. I invited 2 girlfriends that night to join us, and they came up to me at the end and they're like, we want to do this next year. Would you do it with us? And I'm like, okay, twist my arm. Oh, it's already back there. So I am on a 7-woman team this year. We are a packed powerhouse of Elkhart women that are we're all known for our things. We're called the Classy Kilters. So you will see social media. We've done events in South Bend. We're getting ready to do a sit-down Italian dinner on June 5th at Sunny Italy in South Bend. Those tickets are pre-sale only, and they are selling out. And we are donating all of that money that night back to the house. We've done some Sunday fun days, and we have another one coming up in August at JJ's Crumstown Highway Tavern. Jason has been an amazing advocate for us. We just love him. I'll be at the Dimples golf outing because I collect tips for kilts for kids.
Yeah, so that's Monday, June 3rd.
Yeah, Monday, June 3rd. So, and we just like to bring the fun. So we would love support from all communities, and our goal is to go in that night already have raised $100,000, and we're chipping away at it.
You guys are already well on your way.
I know we're in first place.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Again, Barb is such a great example of this event, McDazzle. This is our 15th year putting this gala event on, and we bring in teams from businesses around the community. And they get to go out into their spheres and talk about what we do. And then we come back together that night, see who raised the most money. And you guys are well on your way.
Yeah, we're well on our way. So if you see me, please do not say, "Oh, that's a cute skirt," because it is not a skirt. It is a kilt. And like Nancy says, it's my superhero cape for local families.
You got how many kilts do you own?
I have like 13.
I was gonna say you definitely have the record for most kilts owned, I think.
Yeah. And they're actually comfortable.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants any more information, can they reach out to you, or where's a good website for them to go if they want to learn more about the
Kilts for Kids?
Yep.
They can contact myself either through social media or the bank, or you can find me through Aaron.
Exactly.
I don't want to put my cell phone number out.
No, you're good. And Barb has been so amazing that they're actually out ahead of. We don't have the McDazzle information up quite yet for this year. That'll be coming up probably later in the summer. But on rmhcmichiana.org, which is our website, we will be having more information about how you can vote for kilt teams, including the
classy kilters. You got it.
There you go. Yep. So definitely vote for the classy kilters. But we'll have all of our teams up on our website later this summer, and you can see all the different teams we have, and so that's on rmhcmichiana.org.
Yeah, I actually started raising money in December, and then once we got the team assembled, we've been raising money since February.
Yeah.
So it's fun, it's the right thing to do, and we are to give of our time, talents, and treasures to our communities.
Well, again, we appreciate it, and when, again, you think about a family that might be staying with us for, again, our average stay right now is 10 nights, but obviously there are families that stay with us less than that, families that stay more. When we're covering all of the costs for that stay, there's always a need for dollars, there's always a need for volunteers, so that is definitely something that any listener can do right now, is to go on rmhcmichiana.org. You can find ways to donate directly to us there, or information about how to volunteer. We are definitely looking for volunteers, especially weekend volunteers, a big need right now. So we would really appreciate any of that support. But just because we tell families they don't have to pay, there's still a lot that we have to cover. There are many costs that go into providing these services to families. So there's always a need, and that's why we appreciate community support like what Barb is doing for our McDazzle event, because those dollars need to keep coming in, or else we never want there to be a situation where we have to end being able to tell families that they can have our services for free. We want that to continue. So we, again, really appreciate the support from the community. So go to rmhcmichiana.org and find out more information on how you can give back.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Barbara, both for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This is great. Yeah,
thank you for everything you do for the community. And
maybe we'll get to come back before McDazzle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I might know a guy.
There you go.
I'm like, hey Tanner, how do I get on this radio show? Well, all you have to do is ask. When would you like to come?
So, but thank you both for coming down this morning, speaking. It's been a blast, and thank you for everything you both do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, Paul, we got a trivia question here to answer.
All right.
In what year did the Ronald McDonald House Charities for the Global begin? 1964, 1974, 1984, 1994.
I'm trying to see. I've been trying to think through the entire show because my ex-wife and I were at the Ronald McDonald House in Indy, attached to Riley.
Yep.
So I was trying to think. I thought they were doing something special then. So I'm gonna go 50 years and go 74.
You got it.
You got it. I was gonna say it is our 50th
It's all
year
over.
celebration right now for RMC Global. So you
Yep,
got it perfectly.
you got it.
And the
Yep.
first house was actually built in Philadelphia. It was a partnership between the Philadelphia Eagles and McDonald's. They came together and actually our founder, she just passed away recently, but Dr. Audrey Evans was a world-renowned child physician, and she realized that families were having to travel from all over. And so she really made it her passion to say, if we could just keep families close to their child, that not only impacts the families, but it actually helps the child recover quicker. There's studies that show that, and so she really championed that. And yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles came together, Ray Kroc with McDonald's, and the partnership has been there ever since. McDonald's is still a huge supporter of ours, which is another way people can support. If you do go to McDonald's, we are now able to round up your order in the drive-thru, so your extra change goes to Ronald McDonald House, and it stays here locally. So that money does not go off to global. That stays right here in Michiana. So definitely make sure that you're rounding up when you go through the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah, and one thing about their local franchises, one thing that I noticed right away as an outsider looking in is the support that they get from all of their franchise owners. The baking companies that make the buns and English muffins and the logistics companies that deliver to the stores, they are at every event. They are at McDazzle.
Yep.
They were at the balloon build last weekend. They are at the golf outing, bringing their teams and generously spending money even when they've already supported.
They're incredible.
So
Yeah, many people may not know that all of our McDonald's in this area are locally owned and operated. So there's people that are living here right in your community that are giving back in a big way. So we can't say enough about the partnership with McDonald's and their suppliers and that kind of thing. But we are not, again, I want to make it clear, we're not funded by any one source. Most of our donations come from individuals right here in the community. So again, there's always a need, and so we're just really grateful for all the support that we get. And I'll say it again, Barb is a perfect example of what that looks like. Just getting involved and doing what you can do and giving back. So I can't say thank you.
I actually last summer my friend's son was getting an outpatient treatment in the oncology ward, and I just happened to be volunteering with the coffee cart that day and was able to offer him and his dad snacks, and that in itself is so humbling. And it's not about us.
That's why you do it.
That's why we do it.
Well, Paul, let's close with some words of wisdom this morning from Anthony J. D'Angelo, an American writer. Without a sense of caring, there could be no sense of community.
Amen.
That's the perfect way to end that.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
And Tanner, we'll see you again next week.
I'll be here. Thanks, Paul.
With those
Okay,
words
so
of
we
wisdom,
went over. Is
this
that a
has been
problem?
the first